Kamar, name and a number.
1821, Return of the King, Bert Kreischer, and Tony Hinchcliffe.
No, not Return of the King.
Well, he's returned now a king. Movie
I
star, The Cabin.
Returned
his
as
Netflix
a king, Bert Kreischer.
Who was just Bert Kreischer before.
It's true.
Now
yeah.
he's
trying to get by.
Sir Kreischer.
Yeah.
Sir Bert Kreischer has been doing too many He's too self-aware. The way he talks sort of thing.
Yeah, agreed. There's something wrong.
He knows what he's doing, but it's that thing where, like, whatever you've been doing to get you where you are, you're not going to stop doing it.
He is incredible, and what he's done is incredible, and I will not take any of that away from him, but I don't enjoy listening anymore.
He brings it up.
I'm not a fan.
I disagree. I like this one. I thought, again, Bert is just dialed in right now.
But right at the beginning, they bring up Brendan Schaub and Bobby Lee, and Joe won't have anything to do with it. They say, well, I had to listen to 4 podcasts. Like, almost saying what you said, like, you listen to this one and this one and this one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's have it out. Brendan's over. Whatever you said, we've already talked about it.
Nope. Yeah.
At the beginning, it is what it is.
I remember that now.
But it's a complete deflection, and who better to talk about it with? Tony Hinchcliffe is amazing. He knows his spots. Like, he knows he's not on this podcast. They ran into him on the way to do it or whatever, and he knows who he is. Like,
it was a good thing Joe didn't bring it up, because Tony and Bert probably don't know anything about it, and they would have given their opinion, and it just would have started more shit. And
they could have talked about Gringo Poppy, or it just felt like a deflection. Like,
nobody's talking.
Hold on,
about
I
Gringo
was see. This is
Poppy.
where you're. Listen, I was just about to say.
Can't say something nice.
Well, no, just keep in mind all this shit that's gone on. It hit 1 million views this week, so
Did it?
yeah.
So it's legit.
So my point is, well, my point is, like, at least from a business standpoint, there is no such thing as bad press.
Yes.
So what?
Yes, it's worked out for him, and he, like I think I told you last week, he's the opportunity to actually, because this is out there now. 5-7 years, whoever's. I heard someone said he should just move to New York City and, like, get in the real grind.
Who?
Brendan Schaub.
Because in
become
LA,
a comedian?
he's got a name. He's getting on lots of shows, but he can just go where no one will give a fuck. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like if he spent a year in Boston, that's
Something like
either gonna make him a way better comedian or make him quit.
Yes, and then he has the opportunity to come out with a super special. And be like, wow, he'll just look good.
Or he plays to his fans and makes bank,
but never grows and never gets taken seriously by his peers.
I mean,
But hold on.
It'll take a longer time. Eventually, he'll get there. If you do that, if he does his fans for enough years, you'll get better.
I don't think so.
I actually disagree
I
with
don't
that.
think
Really,
so.
You
just
Simon,
get smoother. You get
No, but you need
But you're
you
playing
need
to your crowd.
Yeah, you need negative feedback. You need to know what works and what doesn't. If you're just playing to your crowd, they're just going to love everything.
Yes men, and we know
Yeah.
people who have yes men all
That's
around.
not
Them.
gonna-
Like, they
Then
don't grow.
He would have to watch the YouTube comments, and then
He does.
He does not.
He'd get the negative.
He says he
feedback.
does not watch comments
He
because
does
he's too
for
sensitive
sure.
and can't.
Well,
handle it.
I'm dying to know what it is that he won't show them.
Yeah.
The Tiger Belly people. That is so bad that he keeps alluding to.
Everything seemed measured.
I told you. I heard it was just HTML code. Like what he sent them was just.
No. But there's obviously something that he thinks that they were doing where it then had to do with pedophiles and this and that. Like, what is that?
He thinks that Bobby Lee is running the TFATK Reddit.
Yeah, they went over that and they talked about Bob Lee is technically unable to do that, so that's not it. But it was
an Asian not good at technical
the
stuff. Come on, what are we doing here?
The reason that it was such a big deal is because there are 6 users, and within those 6 users, they found child porn and like a adult beating a child or something. Like there was all this.
I don't even understand that. Like really. Of horrific memes are being sent, and it's just like
I don't know, or
is it trying to,
or
make
they went
them,
back into their files and saw shit.
try to bring
I don't
someone
know.
down by like connecting you to this. that seems like a threat. Because he was talking about, whatever, people talk shit. Hey, no one talks more shit about me, but this is different. What is this threat? I still don't know after all.
This is what they keep saying. It's so disgusting. This is worse. The stuff I'm getting is worse. I want to know what that stuff is.
Yeah, so do I. And we agree we do not know.
I want to know.
Then they talked about the Johnny Depp trial, and I don't know. Did you watch?
Dude, this thing is out of hand.
Camila Vasquez cross-examined. This thing is
out of hand.
Oh my god!
I think I did.
She is so fucking hot. First,
where they're talking about the donation.
Yes.
I listened to it. It is so funny.
But so
she's so annoying though. Like she obviously knows exactly what's being asked of her. Amber Heard.
Yes.
Like,
but she's answering to the jury. Joe doesn't realize there's 12 people.
Well, because she thinks it's like a fucking television show.
Yeah, they all discuss she's way out of her element. This has gone way too far. I think she would like to say time out. Let's not say I wrote that article and we'll all go bad.
Yeah, I'd love to not have to pay this $50 million settlement.
But
and now I want to keep that money that I
yes,
said
I'd
I was
also like to
donate.
keep the $7 million. Yeah,
because I'm gonna need it.
She's still countersuing for $100 million because of this. So,
well, she's not going to get that, and she's going to have to pay Johnny's lawyer fees.
Like if she loses that's out the window.
Fees.
Because Camila Vasquez was saying, so he punched you in the face with rings on, and this is you 8 hours later. Really? Like being such a bitch, which just made her so much hotter. Like
did she ever?
Dude, forget it. Did you see her objecting to the?
Oh
my god!
She rips Amber Heard apart, and then the
Amber Heard's lawyer on cross
is supposed to come back, and all those points you made, we're going to say why that isn't what you said. But she was like, you can't lead
objection
the
foundation.
You have to
objection foundation.
You have to answer
objection leading and foundation.
Open-ended question, or else you can't ask it because you're implying
you're leading the witness.
And the lawyer goes, I'm trying the best I can here.
Dude, she's so flustered. She's so flustered. Yeah, it was honestly, it was like you got to peer into someone's soul. Like they said their inner monologue just out loud. Just blurted out. God,
fuck me with the chainsaw.
God, I'm trying here. Yeah, it was nuts.
This is unwinnable.
This trial is a fucking circus.
And asking, are you guys hiring?
But it's
Depp's legal
this
team.
has got to be taking all the attention away from really important things.
Yes,
yeah, Giselle, we know that. Ghislaine, sorry,
Ghislaine,
Ukraine,
anything important. This is like COVID.
COVID's still a thing.
Oh, monkeypox.
Oh, fucking monkeypox. How about
that door, the door they found on Mars that we never spoke about.
The door they found on Mars.
How did you not hear about that?
I haven't heard about that.
Who showed that to me?
But wait a second.
Wasn't either of you.
Are you guys? Did you guys get those monkeypox tests?
No,
they're already selling them.
Actually, or is that a
no? This that
terrible
sounded like
joke.
a terrible joke. Yeah.
Yeah, they found a door.
I'm sorry to insult your fucking better sense of fucking comedy.
Yeah, they found a door on Mars.
What's this door on Mars?
No,
like
it's just a rectangle hole in a rock wall.
They also found a face on Mars and pyramids.
And
I
said, whoever showed that to me, I said, you could easily find one of those, I'm sure, in the Grand Canyon in like a week.
Okay, you're telling me this is like a perfect door?
Perfect door.
I'd like to see this.
I'm going to pull it up. Keep talking.
Right, thanks.
Did you know about George Washington, slave teeth? Like, I feel like I've known that.
Well, I knew he had wooden teeth. That was always...
No, the teeth were in
wood. No, I know, but that's the only thing I knew. I don't think I knew he
never
actually...
knew he
took...
Because I thought he had wooden teeth.
I think we heard, though, that... I think we heard on Joe Rogan before that he had slave teeth.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Like he made it seem like he just had a conversation with Duncan.
Yeah, I think Joe's getting old,
weeks.
and
That's
awesome. I'm getting old too. But like, yeah, now that you mention it, I think we heard it on Joe. Simon, there's your door.
What the fuck? Okay, that's like an entrance to the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do with it what you will.
And they're sure this is a picture from Mars.
The U.S. government is currently discussing it in Congress. For the first time ever, they're discussing UFOs because of this photo.
Well, no, they're discussing UFOs because they're having a big conference about UFOs.
Okay, well, either way, this was a big talking point.
This isn't a human being who saw this and said, hey, that looks great. what AI in the rover caused it. Anyways.
No, but hold on.
That rover that shoots up its little helicopter that goes 10 feet and then comes back down and then reports back. And then like 10 hours later, it does the same thing. It must have taken forever to find this.
Yeah, but it's not looking for this. It's just going and it found this is my point.
It blows your mind, though.
Dude,
this is all true, right? How far away this is? That picture you're looking at is what?
I mean, listen, as I know what Simon's about to say, and I'm going to say the same thing. It looks, it looks too perfect to not be some sort of like.
We don't feel like you'd see one of those in the Grand Canyon?
No, I don't think you'll find that in the Grand Canyon.
It looks like a perfect trench. Like I don't know.
No, it looks like a fucking perfect
entrance
to like
that's what I'm saying.
A pyramid or some sort of structure.
226 million kilometers away.
Sweet Jesus.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. So, Kamar, how far is the moon away?
250,000 kilometers.
And how far is Mars away?
220 million.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so there's that. And then, Kamar.
Yes, there's all
okay,
of it.
yeah, there's that.
How far is the space station?
Well, it's in between the moon and...
1 kilometer or something?
No. How far is
No, it's not one.
Listen, how far is the space station from
15
Earth?
kilometers. Or not even that.
That's the farthest we've ever been. And it's like, tell them exactly, how far is space station from Earth?
And you're saying that's the farthest we've ever been. So you're totally on board that we never went to the moon.
Don't know anything, that's all.
That's people going to space, Maddie.
Yeah.
The idea of going to the moon, after you hear how far that is away, you're going to be like, this. It's all fucking fugazi.
Well, now it says 250 miles.
Either way,
that's 250 miles is a big difference from 15 kilometers.
Sure. 250 miles. Sure. How far
420 kilometers.
How far is the moon away, Kamar?
250,000 kilometers. And this is 226 million.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah. We're never getting to Mars.
And there's something on there taking pictures. And
oh, no, they can send shit rovers and stuff.
And it's powered by solar?
Because you think those can get through the Van Allen belt.
I think they don't have to worry about radiation.
Okay,
they just have to...
But wouldn't an electronic made on Earth be, like, somewhat affected by radiation in some way?
I'm sure they could figure it out, Maddie. If you're not having to risk human lives, you can do a lot of things, you know?
But, I mean, everything they sent into Chernobyl got fried.
Okay, so fine.
I'm just saying that every electronic from the 80s, right? I get it. We've come 40 years from there.
So this could just be a picture from Egypt for all.
There you go. Okay, now we're talking.
Or
a deeper
Iraq.
conspiracy.
I won't be able to say this without sounding like a crazy Kanye, but slavery is wrong. But
here we go. This is gonna be.
Are you sure you want?
You know
to
what?
do this?
He's already had the hottest take yet. Like, how is he going to top it? And then he goes, "You know what? Slavery is wrong." But
what was the other hot take?
What was the first one he said that was absolutely egregious? It was like 20 minutes ago.
I don't know.
That he could join the women's soccer team, like walk on.
That was just ridiculous. Yeah. So sorry. Go ahead, Kamar.
It is reported history like it was just the South in America during slavery.
Right.
No, it's reported in history that everyone's had slavery.
The whole world.
Yeah. Everyone was just doing slavery, and
that's one thing. Slavery. That's one thing that isn't like whitewashed or.
Oh no, it's pretty whitewashed.
Well, it's whitewashed.
We're getting there now that we're learning about Columbus.
Stop.
What I meant a race thing.
What I meant, Simon, was that you can go throughout time and never find a time where there wasn't slaves. I meant whitewashing in that way.
It wasn't a race thing.
It wasn't like one race enslaved another race. White people enslaved white people. Black people enslaved black people. White people enslaved black people.
I think white people mostly enslaved people of other colors, though, because they looked at them as lesser.
Otherwise, I agree with Simon. I agree with Simon.
No, I totally disagree with that.
I agree with Simon. I will say this.
They weren't all black, but they were of a different color than white.
So here's an interesting story. When they freed the slaves in the States, they sent a bunch of them back to Africa. And they landed in Liberia.
They made Liberia for them.
Yes. And the capital is called Monrovia.
Sounds like Israel, right?
The capital of Liberia is called Monrovia, named after President Monroe. And the first thing the slaves did when they came back to Liberia was enslaved all the Africans. Like all the...
So that's what I'm saying. It's not a race thing, but you agree with me. But that's General Buck naked Liberia.
Okay, sometimes.
Well, that's what it ended up being.
Who we want back of all the people we've seen before Shane Smith one time? What happened?
Well, I think his life fell apart.
I think so too.
What even happened to him? Is he like even relevant in the world anymore?
Let's talk about that for a second though. Vice magazine. Now again, maybe it was just our age, right? Because when you're a certain age, you're just dumb. But it felt like Vice magazine was like a publication doing like counterculture underground stories.
Politically incorrect almost.
Yeah. And like, gritty stuff. And then they get bought by this massive corporation.
HBO?
Viacom, I think.
Okay, the big one.
And they end up becoming this super weird, shitty, woke entity that just
too
like
much corporate.
I mean, I don't know what like it's. I mean, it's terrible.
Graduating people who were
go back, Simon.
Progressive, whatever naturalists.
Yeah, it's just odd that like it, because we always talk about how there's no good, like there's no publication you can trust, and it felt like Vice. Simon, what are you doing?
Sorry, it won't let me go.
Felt like Vice was that, but once the big money got involved, it got corrupted.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
You guys knew Hugo Boss made the Nazis uniforms?
Yes, Simon and I were talking about this not long ago.
I just wanted to see a.
That looks like
picture.
a picture from the set of some sort of Star Wars movie.
Look how fucking straight cut it is on the inside.
That's a shadow. That's
too.
a shadow.
No,
That's a shadow.
Dude, that is. Crazy.
I mean, Simon, here's the real
crazy.
question. Once you spot that, and I'm sure they have, but once you spot that, do you not direct the rover over there, even if it's going to take 2 months? Do you not tell the rover like?
Well, if it was really happening,
get the
for sure.
fuck in there, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
If it was real.
Right? Like, there's
But
no
maybe
choice.
They have that info already.
Well, that's what I was
they're
saying.
willing
Yeah.
to show us.
Or what if this is a half a kilometer away?
Listen, it's quite.
Sorry. I was just going to say, if Kamar's right, like, this is the thing. If behind that shadow, it's just like a rock bed and it's just a weird, it's just from the sand blowing for 6 million years that it has this weird indent, then okay. But if that thing is any deeper than like 10 feet and it's straight edge on both sides, I'm very fucking
It could be a door
at
that
that point,
had a cave in a ton of time ago. Listen, we may be looking at Mars as like they're already a dead civilization, and listen. If the world,
do you remember that movie?
No, what movie?
There was a sci-fi movie where we went to Mars, and when we get there, they go in kind of a door like this, and when they get in there, this like virtual reality thing opens up around them. And
Is that Mission to Mars? Is that?
I can't remember the name of it. I'll Google it in a sec. But anyway, the point is when they're in this thing, it shows the history of like the solar system. And what you see is 2 Earths. And they're like, why is there 2 Earths? And then you see Mars get hit with this thing. And as it gets hit, these pods leave it and they all go to Earth. And that's like, the idea was that there was like a civilization that started on Mars that was thriving. It got hit with an asteroid. We went to Earth.
Well, if civilization ended today,
Yeah.
if there was some mass event,
Extinction event.
we are like the pyramids have already survived that
Once?
multiple times, maybe. Like,
Maybe.
I mean, there's a better chance they get covered in sand.
there wouldn't be that much left. Well, maybe it was covered in sand, and this is finally got revealed by winds. Must be pretty fucking windy on Mars.
I watched a short clip that said it was all vegetation and forest in Antarctica at one time.
Kind of like
So
Earth was.
All bets are off. And Antarctica.
Well, yeah, wasn't the Sahara...
Antarctica wasn't always ice.
Oh, you're talking about, sorry, not Mars.
Wasn't the Sahara formerly like a
Yes.
like a plush green...
Well, and
It
because
was like Babylon,
the
right?
pyramids, the Nile came right up to the door of the pyramids. It
Yeah, the
was
Hanging
all
Garden, it was all
around
green,
it.
yeah.
It wasn't desert until after the Ice Age.
My uncle mentioned how they've always talked about there's an imminent, giant, catastrophic earthquake to happen on the West Coast. But imminent could still be 1,000 years.
Yeah.
We say imminent, it could be like
We also
day-to-day we're watching
currently...
it.
We are currently sitting on one of the world's largest fault lines.
In Ottawa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to mention Tornado Alley recently. Fuck.
Tornado Alley.
But we're due for some sort of event, Kamar, because
Which could be 1,000
like
years. and that'd be-
13,000 years, I think we're right at the doorstep.
Let's not
of
forget,
that,
we
you know?
lived, like, in the 90s, LA got hit with a fucking severe earthquake.
Yeah.
Like, that was in our lifetime.
No, but I'm talking about like
But like
that's
this-
gonna
Also,
change the world.
hold
you
on.
said Yellowstone's going to blow, and it happens in 500 years, you were spot on. Like, you called it. With geology
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I get it.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying 5 weeks would be insane. A bullseye of a bullseye.
I know what he's saying.
He does not.
He's saying in geological terms, if Yellowstone blew in the next 500 years, you would have hit the bullseye
Yeah,
in geological
called it.
terms,
You
right?
called it.
Because
Yeah, probably in like 10,000 years, you would still be hitting the bullseye.
No, that's a bit outside.
No, man. Time is in the millions and trillions of years, or however many.
Yeah, when it comes to
it's
planets and geology, Simon's right. It's
that's
billions
a
of
big
years.
bullseye, man.
And we got back into it, but they talk about the art. Has been recreated, and now what's left. And Joe's so hung up on that, and I don't know how I feel either, because where we are, where my land is, there was a cabin that was built by my grandfather.
Yeah.
And someone moved in there and bought it, and they've made so much changes, it's sort of not there anymore. So that spirit of whatever, like he was so pissed at Jamie when he said they have the old boats.
Yeah, those aren't the real boats.
That's not the
it's
real
new
boat.
wood.
And I feel that, actually, we'll talk about it. Have you guys watched any Love and Sex and Robots?
Oh, no, I've been saving that.
We'll save
there's a season 3?
Yeah, just came
Four.
out.
4.
This is 4 now?
Yeah. You haven't seen 3?
I don't think so, maybe.
They released like 9 episodes or something.
Maybe I saw it.
8
I can't remember.
episodes during the pandemic.
There was
Maybe.
The initial one.
There's nothing crazier. Well, this is all now post-apocalyptic shit.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty much. But men on boats or women on anyone on a boat for 3 months in the middle of water, you can't see anything.
Oh my god, that's what I'm watching right now.
The fact
Below
that
deck.
the fact that people did that, like, and you get off the boat, like, and a year later they invent the steam engine, and you're like, what the fuck?
Are you telling us about this show?
Say one of the shorts has to do with boats, but I'm just saying they were talking about drunk history, like Bert. I like Joe gets to talk to Bert because Joe seems like a professor of ancient history and stuff. Because Bert will just believe whatever, and Tony doesn't give a fuck. But
Why was Tony even there?
They saw him driving his Corvette.
I mean, that's the story, but why do you think he was really there?
Oh, you think Tony's camping out at like the local
maybe
barbecue
there's a
joint?
rift between Joe and Bert, and this was the
No,
middleman?
I doubt it. No, Joe and Bert. Are you kidding me?
I know. I'm just.
They also all seem to have a good rapport. I like the three of them in the room together.
I guess to Bert, it's like this doesn't even matter to him anymore, so he's willing to give up some of the spotlight.
I laughed out loud when they were talking about replacing Chadwick Boseman with a white Black Panther. I audibly laughed out loud.
Do you think they should replace him with a Black Panther?
No, he shouldn't be replaced.
You don't think they should do any more? Can I make a suggestion?
Kill the man.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure. I'm not saying they can't.
He should die in the movie. They should just do a tiny little bit of, because then you can replace him.
So there's a new Black
so
Panther.
It makes sense.
Okay, yeah,
and
I'm with that.
Because the movie shouldn't die. Like it
I
was
agree.
so hard for them to get a black
I agree,
superhero
yeah.
in the first
Shouldn't
place.
have to die.
I agree, yeah.
Lead character.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
They should keep going, and that would be a perfect way to do it. They could use
CGI.
Thank you.
I don't know how we feel about that when it happens.
I think that's the right thing to do. I think that's what he would want to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
to
he built a
continue
legacy.
his
Like,
thing.
I'm with Simon, yeah.
The clip they brought up where he goes, "What were you thinking about Black Panther 2?" And he goes, "I'm dead."
That's so
Yeah,
weird.
that was tough,
That's
yeah.
so weird.
But what I think it is he seemed to come in place. I've come to peace with this. Like I'm dying. And she's like, well, no, don't say that. And that's that side of society that is in denial of what's happening and all that's wrong in the world. He said that laugh tracks. Andy Kaufman said that laugh tracks are dead people laughing.
Yeah.
So it's the least funny thing of all.
Am I mistaken, or did Salsa Pappy have a laugh track?
Gringo Poppy.
It's been said. I'm not going to speculate.
I think it'll be weird if Norm's last special is literally just him alone.
It is so perfect.
It's
don't
like
you
him
think?
as Maria Bamford.
I
What
think
do you mean as?
It's like
Maria
a living
Bamford?
room. He's just his face talking to you.
Oh, it's not.
No audience.
Why is Maria Bamford dead?
No, but she did a special for her parents. 2 people in the living room
Okay, gotcha.
and released it.
Oh, I see.
Simon, it's kind of like if you see a really good, and again, it's been a while since one's come out, but if you see a really good comedy in the theater and it's packed, it's a much better feeling than seeing a really good comedy in a theater and you're alone.
Yeah,
But if there's something that's undeniably hilarious,
I
it'll
get it.
shine
I get it.
through.
I get
imagine it's not even that funny, and it's just really poignant to the times, and like he makes a huge statement about where we are in this shitty world. You know.
Who's that Canadian guy who's always a ridiculous guy in movies? He's a comedian. Harlan
Wayans.
Williams.
Yeah.
Wayans.
Harlan Williams? No, he's a white.
Wayans?
It's a white
No,
guy.
it's Harm. No, he's talking about the guy from from Half Baked. Harlan Williams.
I thought
he's
his
a
name,
hilarious
I
physical
thought his
comedian.
name was Harlan Wayans.
He did a special.
Waylands.
No, look it up.
I'm gonna look it
He
up.
did
right
a
now.
special on top of a hill.
Oh,
Again, with no audience, and it wasn't very good. So it will be interesting. My biggest interest in this Norm Macdonald thing, I mean, he already, he got fired for saying, was it either calling Michael Jackson a pedophile or saying O.J. Simpson killed his wife? You know, he wasn't afraid of saying things if he names names or puts anything out there, because this is the best. What can you do?
Yeah, but Netflix still has control over.
But
Probably.
they don't have to. They don't have to worry about him being canceled.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a unique position, and he knew he was dying when he made it. Apparently, got better, didn't put it out, and then this happened. That's what I understand.
Williams, Harlan
Williams.
Yeah.
Harland
Williams.
with a D at
You
the
said
end.
Wayans.
He said Wayland.
Williams.
They reminisced about.
No, I was incorrect.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
wrong.
also incorrect,
I was
so I
right.
don't know what you're getting.
Harlan Williams.
Well,
Check
I
the
don't
tape.
think- I don't think so.
They reminisce about how the generation of crossing from seeing this technological revolution. We all sat around talking shit which no one could prove it,
Of course.
it was a better time.
It was a freer time.
Do we know more now that people can't get away with saying outrageous stuff? It says, well, no, actually, that was 74, so they
But
weren't
there
born
are some
yet.
things that should, you know what? Yes, there are some things that should leave. You know what I mean? That you
But
said
I honestly-
things back then freely, but it doesn't mean they were the right things to say. You were just a little more ignorant as to what was right and what was,
I actually feel like it makes for a better debate and conversation when you have all the real, like a bar debate that you're having with someone. You know what I mean? Where you're like, no, he hit 68 home runs that year. No, it was 66. You know what I mean? Then you pull it up.
Yeah, well, you could go a lot longer before you can pull it up.
Well, I'm just
can
saying.
waste your whole night
it happened.
arguing about a score.
Yeah.
I had a friend who liked to stretch the truth
Well, we all knew liars
a
growing up.
lot, but I don't know if you have, there's some
Do we
people that
know
just, like,
this person?
You do, I think. I know you do. But tall tales.
Tall
Yeah.
Tall tales. And every once in a while, something be true that would throw you off. But they'd say go traveling, but they'd just be in their basement. Or just weird. So weird, they're like, why would you even lie about it? It doesn't matter. Like, maybe show up with a souvenir from a place. Or
Dude,
something.
I remember someone came back and was like, I was at the Super Bowl last night. Showed up at school on Monday and
Yeah.
was like, and I remember being like, no, you weren't.
Well, were they your friend? Because that seems like someone like that's a red flag, and you just stay away from the person. I'm sure you did.
For like 5 days, I had everyone convinced I was Michael J. Fox's cousin because I'm Simon J. Anisman.
So
was
they
like,
thought
we
the
have the
J-
smaybe middle name.
Interesting.
It's,
Wow,
you
you
know,
Then
some
you
stupid
ran out of
people.
room, and you had to come clean.
as soon as it only took a couple of days.
You're not going to get what's it called, copyrighted there.
This was in like grade 1.
Imagine what you could get away with, sort of like that movie Yesterday.
I went for like 10 years as Michael J. Fox's cousin.
You would tell people that.
It wasn't until I had to go to somebody was like, oh, well, can we get pre-booking to this movie? I was like, oh, no, it's not true.
I always thought government
weird
cheese
flex.
was money, not the actual cheese.
You're
The big
hilarious,
block.
too.
Like government cheese, like
You thought that was money.
get some government cheese.
Interesting.
Like
No, I thought that was like government butter.
It is in a way. It's like cheese be cash, but
Yeah,
it's actual
you
cheese.
try and turn that cheese into cash,
but-
okay?
Especially when every other poor person around
No,
you
this
has the
is-
same
this
cheese.
is what I mean.
You
There's
need
no
cash to
you
buy
could
that
barter
cheese.
with.
Ooh, now I have 3 blocks of terrible cheese. Wonderful.
They dissed the fake laugh.
Oh, you hated that.
No, that's all Bert does.
But they were talking about you.
No, Bert laughs at his set.
But they were talking about you.
Mine is different.
Yeah, yours is
They're
different.
talking about the laugh, and Chappelle does it too. When you laugh at something
Yeah.
you said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Bert
Chappelle
does it
slaps
so much.
Chappelle slaps his knee with the mic.
Yeah.
Soda shop.
Soda shop.
No kidding, he does. But what I'm saying is, Bert's like, I did that every night for 9 nights, like 5 nights a week for a year.
Yeah.
And he's laughing, like losing his mind at the things that are coming out of his mouth. So I just,
Yeah, but Joe also died on a few weird hills in this one. I don't like the word team. What?
What?
oh yeah, when
Hey.
Bert said my team. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that either. When Brendan was saying that, I was like, this is too much. You are not fucking like...
No.
Get over
How about
yourself,
this?
man. No, that's so gross. I'm sorry. I hate that. I don't mean to side with Joe, but I hate that.
That's
When you have a
something
staff meeting, do you call it the team?
No, and I would never say to you, my team. Like,
Well, that's different because that's gross.
But-
that's what he's saying.
Yeah, but what if this thing had what if our podcast had millions and millions of listeners and we had like 10 people working for us?
What are those people's names?
I don't know. Well,
That's what I
but
would
what
say.
do we call them
I would
collectively?
say Benny and Joe, the crew,
the
the gang,
squad.
the whatever. I don't care. Team is so like, I'm with them. I'm with
Okay,
them.
fair enough.
And both of them used it, and I think that said something.
Okay.
Wow, I just got real heated.
Well,
there for a
Simon.
second
Well, there we
there.
know where Simon
Guys,
feels
I
about
hate
team.
team.
Yeah,
Referring to
clearly.
your
Wow.
people.
Unless
as a
you're
team.
talking about like your sports team,
Yeah.
then I don't want to hear it.
So the Senators are your team.
That can be your team.
Okay.
And if you're on a team, you can certainly say
Okay,
my team.
yeah.
Like if you're on like a beer league hockey team,
Yeah, that's
then
your
you can be
team.
like, yo,
Yeah.
my team did this.
If you actually play for the Raptors, you could say, "Yo,
You could
my team
You could definitely
lost in the first round."
And
this
I don't
year, yeah.
even mind you saying my team, i.e. the Raptors, or my team. That's all fine. If it's sports related,
The
all
Vikings are
power-
my team.
All the power to you.
I felt Bert's team was the crew that they're going to bus. Like it was a whole production that they did, so he called it his team.
That sounds like the best time ever, by the way.
Really? You would like that?
And stopping in all
Yeah, I know
these,
the idea of doing anything fun with your friends for a long period of time in close proximity is really gross to you.
No,
but
I like the idea of doing things with my friends, but living above people in the bunks like that for so long and sharing a bathroom.
but
it's
hold
just,
on, you get hotels often.
Do they? I
Yeah.
thought he said they were
it's
in the
not. It's
bus
not
the whole
even that.
time.
You get off the bus, you go to a venue. I was just thinking, imagine the same thing, and you just stay in a motel room by yourself.
That's super fun.
But Simon, this
that's
is what I'm
way
saying.
worse.
Let me
That's way worse.
hold on,
Because then you have to travel. You're staying and you're traveling and you're hanging out.
what are
Simon.
you talking about?
Two birds with one stone.
Simon, hear me
Can't
out.
travel when you're staying in a motel.
Hear me out. You sleep on the bus between cities for travel
Mm-hmm.
because that just makes all the travel way better. But then when you get to a city, you spend a night in a hotel.
I don't think they did that, but
I don't-
Like,
I do
don't
not
mind
think they do that.
so much.
Okay, there we go.
I think
At
they
least-
may do
So
that
if one day
someplace,
you
but I
want to
don't
get a
think
bus,
yeah. Oh, you'll do it?
I'll,
Okay.
I'll do it. Sure.
Sweet.
Yeah. If you buy the bus,
We hit all
then
50 states?
The bus has to be pretty nice,
Of course, it's got to sleep 3 people very comfortably.
and I get to stay in hotels everywhere we go, and I never have to fly. I'm in.
At one point, Joe brought up a story because he was talking about how people care about credits.
Social credits.
No, like literal credits in a show
Oh,
or
in a show,
something.
yeah.
And I was over at this guy. One day said this guy, Brian Callen, who's, from that shop guy. Like, it feels like he's just constantly distancing himself from them.
Yeah.
Even though his thing is not talking about them.
Well, after finding out about this whole Bobby Lee thing, I know why Joe wants to distance himself from Brian. He sounds like a fucking loose cannon.
And now Joe will not have Bobby Lee on.
Oh, first of all, how is it possible that Bobby Lee's never been on Rogan? I know it was because the rumor was like,
Well, because he was in Mencia's camp.
I know, but like,
Had some stank on him for a couple years.
okay, sure. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, you're right. I just find that odd.
Keep in mind,
it
we
is
don't
odd.
know the inner workings, and Joe
don't.
is usually pretty good about not throwing people under the bus. So,
Totally. So there might have been more.
and Joe on many occasions has been like, "I love Bobby. Him and I are good."
for sure.
So,
But he's also mentioned too that he hasn't done a special, and that like once he did a special, he'd have him on. But Bobby Lee just doesn't do specials.
Because he has one act. That's what I think it's more.
I mean, maybe. And Joe is against that.
They say beg, borrow, steal any way you can do it, but you're not growing, and it's sort of the same old thing. I think Bobby takes off his pants or
I
something.
bet you Bobby has way more than one.
he says as he puts his hand down his pants.
And
That was
fucking Ari
creepy
takes
on my
off
part,
his
too.
pants. Oh, back to Bert. So
That's where we're trying to
This is
stay.
what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Before.
Go ahead.
Was that Bert, like Secret Time, for example,
Yeah.
great special. Mm-hmm. I thought, anyways.
Although he laughed a lot, didn't he?
Sure, forget that for a second. It's just, it was a well-written, well-done special.
He said how much he did to do it.
he did not need to take his shirt off in that special.
Oh, he
This-
takes his shirt off.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. Like, you're a good comedian now. You have stop taking your shirt off. Like, I get it. That makes you more money, but you have to like push forward.
I don't know, man. I think it's pretty funny. The fact that Tony said that he was at a show where no one knew Bert was going to be, and he called Bert's name up and turned around, and there was already 4 guys in the audience shirtless. I don't know. I just think it's... it's his shtick.
He's a victim of his success, Bert.
He's so successful now, though.
Yeah.
Like, money is no longer an object for him.
Dude,
obviously.
when those guys are buying each other like multiple $100,000 gifts, they're obviously incredibly comfortable.
Like, just you don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to tell. First of all, you shouldn't be telling that story anymore, especially now that the movie's out. Boom, story over.
Have we talked about inviting famous people to your wedding?
No,
it's billionaires.
Oh, and famous people.
No, but you're supposed to.
Fuck, right.
You're supposed to invite billionaires because more often than not, they have an assistant.
Yeah,
they have an assistant that just preemptively sends a gift.
Here's $100,000. Good luck to you. What was her name again?
You said something a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And I've been thinking a lot about it.
Okay.
So Joe.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we know that he will not talk shit about Elon.
Nope.
But the other person who he will not talk shit about, no matter what, is Jeff Bezos. Like, he keeps giving that guy a fucking pass beyond pass.
He's controlled opposition.
I think Matt's right. I think Joe is planning on going on to something that doesn't exist right now, but will with him going there, which is the Prime Podcast Network.
I said with Elon, didn't I? I said Elon would create some sort of podcast.
Oh, you said Elon?
Sure,
well,
but it could. Why not?
I'm branching
Jeff
off of
Bezos,
that
okay.
with Bezos because he is talking like Bezos is his boss.
I don't think Joe will make it as the top podcaster at the end of his Spotify deal.
I think he will.
I think he will have fallen. And not like fallen from grace, but someone else will come out on top and be bigger than him. And he'll be sort of leveled out.
That's in 1 year. So you think basically, I guess it's a year and 3 months. You think in 15 months he's going to lose the crown.
I look at myself and whatever his listenership is, I'm like, I would not listen to any of these episodes. If not,
I know what you're saying.
In that, like,
yep.
How many people are diehard? Like, oh, we've heard these guys before, or maybe we're anomalies, and most people like hearing the same stories over and over again. I'm just sounding like a baby here, but
no, but you know what? This is where you're wrong. Is like you work 50 hours a week, you would listen to all these.
Probably would, but there's other stuff I listen to.
But that's my point, Kamar. Is most people that work a 40 to 60 hour week, that work the kind of job you do, they're just starved for content.
I'm rolling my eyes as I'm listening to these. Like I'm not like
It doesn't matter though. You're still hearing 4 Athletic Green ads a fucking episode. Joe's still getting paid, and the machine still moves on. We'll
see. Well, I'd be interesting if he looked at the numbers and they started going down, and then he's like, "I'll never look at the numbers again."
I mean, listen.
Superstition.
I think his numbers, if I believe that work the way that I believe they do, I believe his numbers are down right now.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how he keeps saying they're up. You look at the same things I do.
I think they're going down.
Yeah.
Then they talked about.
So sorry. What I was just before you jump over, what I was insinuating was that he could go to insinuating. What I was trying to say was if he could go to another platform and give that platform credibility, the same way he did for Spotify.
Not if he's on the way down. That's what I'm saying.
I still
disagree with
you.
That's fine.
I still think tons
fine.
of people would follow him over there because
we can have an opinion and we'll only know.
But that would make sense with this whole fucking Bezos deal.
I just don't understand from Joe's, and maybe it's because he doesn't look at the numbers or understand how it works, but from Joe's perspective, if he just, when the Spotify deal ended, just opened up all the floodgates to all networks, he would make so much money off advertising.
And not get paid from anyone?
Yeah.
He would get pulled, though, from like
Oh,
YouTube
no, you're just saying he could just go back to his old thing of having the pre-roll 8 minutes. Because that's what it used to be.
Yeah, and that's how it should
the
be.
End. And nothing in between.
If he goes back to that...
interrupting, for that matter.
Yeah, first of all, the interruptions can suck my dick. Terrible, terrible feature. Again, I know we do it. I think we do it in a way that is conducive to a better show.
It's just in the middle of a word.
Yeah, literally in the middle of a thought. It's the fucking worst. So yeah, I think if Joe at the end of the Spotify thing just says, listen, I can keep making... Dude, the amount of money he makes off ads must be staggering. Like the CPM It's got to be topped out at like $30 per 1,000.
It must be insane.
It's got to be fucking nut. Now,
And he would only get more downloads if he was open on all
of course,
platforms.
the more listen,
Can't argue that.
and then when that day happens, that is D-Day for us. By the way, we lose all advertisers after that day. Simon, you are just mesmerized by this Mars.
We're
door.
lucky. We're lucky.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
They brought up multiverses, and then Tony brought up the movie. I was talking about Everything Once All at the same time, and Tony tried to explain it the best he could because it's so hard to. You can't actually say what it's about. And then Joe, not seeing it, explained it to him, and it pretty much explained the movie. That it was almost like he was talking down to Tony, who brought the idea of multiverses to him. Was like, well, you don't know what multiverses are, but if you watch this movie, you have a really good idea of a concept of how the multiverse works. Time machine can only go back to the day it's invented.
That was the dumbest. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's got a dock somewhere or something.
Can only go back to the day it was invented.
First of all,
The technology involved with it has to exist.
So
right
you
now,
can't
hold on.
Go to the past. You
Can't
can
go the
only
day
to
before
the
it was
future.
invented.
right now, theoretically speaking, you could go forward in time. You could absolutely never, under any circumstance right now, theoretically go
Right.
back.
If I ran fast enough, I
If you
go
could
forward.
figure out how
Always
to,
going forward
if
in
you
time.
could if you could figure out how to move a human being safely at like the speed of light, then yes, you could travel to the edge of the universe and back. And by the time you got back here, you would be way in the future. All your family would be dead.
No, but I
you
also
couldn't
could
go
just
back to where you left.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Not right now. Theoretically, again, unless some X factor like you constantly talk about comes along.
Well, that's
It's a
what he's
portal.
saying.
It's a portal, a black hole, something like this.
A door on Mars.
The accordion,
Yeah.
whatever that means. That was my scientific. And then Bert's asked Joe probably 6 or 7 times, if you could go back in time, where would it go? And the answer is always Cowboys for Bert, which is what he was saying. Whatever was the time, the 1930s or even before then, that'd be a pretty badass sort of thing
Talking to the mic.
without distractions, like learn how to ride a horse and rope cow and live on the open range.
Yeah.
No?
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, probably.
Where would you go?
Well, okay. He's just saying the allure of being a cowboy.
Yeah, he's asking
I'm
you,
asking
where would you
where
go?
would you go?
The pyramids, of course.
That. What time in the pyramids, though?
Prime time, pyramids in full effect. A week after they were finished officially, no more construction.
Year 5,000.
So they've
year
cut the
10,000.
ribbon.
We don't exactly. We don't know when
You
that
don't
is.
know when that is.
We don't know.
So
when
you
that
just
is.
want to go to when it was done.
and see
The first time, the second time, or the
they're
third
supposed to be
time,
like they were supposed to be like smooth and like
Yeah,
limestone.
you could
like,
see them from like an unlimited distance away from the
which-
curve of the earth.
if everyone with all the money could just recreate them just for the thing to do, like humans can do anything, I think that'd be a worthwhile. And I bet you that'd call back the people.
That's such an interesting thought, though, if you think about it. If you wanted to get in a time machine, like think about the DeLorean, where you have to pick an exact date, you would have to trial and error a shitload to get back to whatever date specifically Kamar's looking for. It would
if you
take
could
you.
pick an event, that would be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
What
like,
do you say? You're saying to the AI or the quantum computer that wants to do this for you?
well, I'm just using the DeLorean as an example. Let's move it to today's date. It's like a Tesla DeLorean. So you say to it, I want to go. I mean, again, in Simon's world, you would just say, I want to go see the pyramids after they're built. But it has to know.
And that's a problem too, because really there might have been 3 different iterations of the pyramids. Which one are you asking to go see? They may be like tens of thousands, maybe millions of years apart.
Well, it's
Who
also a
knows?
huge problem is if you were to do it like the Back to the Future, that where you are 10,000 years ago was a mountain, and you
Yeah.
disappear
Yeah.
in the
Well,
middle
there
of
you go.
stone or underwater or in the belly of a whale.
Joe was saying that he would want to go see the making of the pyramids because this is something we don't understand.
Yeah.
Which is true. But there are some buildings like, you know, other weird sites to me that are even way weirder than the pyramids.
That's fine.
Like the pyramid.
Göbekli Tepe.
Obviously.
No, not even Göbekli
Machu
Tepe.
Picchu,
That
okay.
one's weird because of how old it is, and we were saying people at the time could never, you know what I mean? If they couldn't do the pyramids, they definitely couldn't have done that. That's ridiculous. No, just some of like when you go look at some of the buildings in like Peru and stuff or Lebanon, I don't know exactly which ones, where the stones are way bigger than the pyramid stones, each block, but they're like melded together like it would have been had to have been done with fucking heat of some sort.
Well, the Taj Mahal is pretty amazing,
And
right?
they didn't have that, and they're all fit together with Jenga pieces, and they're all like tons and tons, you know?
Think
Wouldn't
of
it be
this-
interesting, though, if you get in that time machine and you realize that it really is just like a weird geological... You know what I mean? You keep going back in time a little bit further every time, and you realize that it's just like...
You never find the source.
Well, again, like... Think about like a diamond, like, you know, it's created through just pressure and carbon through...
Oh, no, but these are like man-made or something made. They're
Oh, I mean,
not
again,
natural
but that's what I'm saying
wonders.
is imagine if you found out, like, you get your shitty answer where you're like, oh, it really is
maybe,
just...
yeah.
Imagine even the Sistine Chapel.
The Sistine Chapel?
There was no power tools.
Or the 16th?
What do you need a power tool
was-
for? It's painted. Oh, you're talking about building it?
Building, the
Okay.
painting, the wood.
Oh, I mean, but again, that was way later in time.
And still, we cannot, I guess they know how they did it, but you can't imagine how long it would take to do stuff. Just lifting stones like with a pulley. And
Well,
like,
yeah, and some of the
donkey
places, some of
pulling
the
it, I don't know.
megalithic sites, you know, that old, and they're like carved into the fucking
anything.
cliff face, and you're like, this is impossible. How would they have possibly have gotten the shit up there?
I'd go back to New York in like the 20s.
Like Gangs of New York time sort of thing.
Sure, yeah.
Making the buildings?
Just to be interesting to see, yeah, Manhattan,
Oh, that's
like...
where you would go back to. I
Yeah.
see.
Well, I mean, we're all talking about our, you know, I just think that would be an interesting time for me.
For sure. I just think we can trust some of that more recent
I get
stuff
it. There's
way
video
more
of that
than
and
what
photos.
we can
I
trust.
understand, but you're talking about seeing it with
Not
your eyes.
video, right?
There was probably some crude video. Yeah, like silent
think there
films were in the
was
20s.
movies.
What are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah.
You'd have to go to two places, I think, if you could, in your time machine, if you allow me that.
Yeah.
To say you go to the pyramids,
Yeah.
to see what's going on there, and then at the same time flip over and see what's happening in North America. Just unaware, of course.
And then Native
that there's
Americans are here or something.
Oh,
Whoever it
that's
is,
where I would
or
want to go.
China.
That'd be cool too, yeah.
I also want to see who this Jesus guy was.
a legend.
Because that would put a lot of things into perspective. You know what I mean?
I feel like he'd look
Is
just like you.
is he just like
Maybe
a
really
dude
short.
that people use to build up
But this is what I was about to say,
a
Simon,
whole
is
world?
the interesting thing is you'd probably go back and compared to the world you live in now, you'd be like, there's so little fanfare. Like they just drag this guy through the city and like there'd be so many crucifixes, right?
If any of that even happened.
Sure.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, who knows?
But let's say it did happen. You know what I mean? During that time, there were so many people crucified that you'd be like, this is just another day here.
Like, the most influential person in the world has got to be Jesus.
According to Google, it's Hitler.
Okay, but that doesn't even make sense.
No, it'd have to be Genghis Khan.
I'm just saying it's...
I bet you Jesus, over the length of time, has influenced more people than any other person.
I would argue the person who wrote down the story of Jesus.
I'm not saying
We
whether
don't know
it's
who it
right
is.
or
The
wrong.
court
No,
stenographer.
the fact that all that story went around verbally
Yeah,
for
yeah.
how long?
Fine, but if you want exactly, so there you go. Long before there was social media, this guy got his word out there, or they got his word
Written
out
by
there.
the winners, Simon.
Jesus was the first
That's
social
a lot
media.
of winning, Kay. That's a lot of years of winning.
That's a lot of years of winning.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a lot of
Jesus
W's.
is just ticking off dubs.
It's a pretty successful president run, you know.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Bert loves cowboys, loves a big cowboy. It was actually surprised that the movie Young Guns
Oh, here we fucking go.
was quite accurate.
It's
I
the
love
JRE movie game. The time has come again. For Matt and Simon to rack their brains to guess the budget in the box office. We all know they won't guess the year, and the Patreons are the real winners here at the JRE movie game. Come on, take it away, baby.
Can you have a piece of paper, please, Matthew?
It's the movie game. Don't ever talk in front of my intro there, Simon. Ever. I'm just kidding. With Simon and Matt, go head to head to find out what year movie came out, how much it made at the box office, and how much it cost to make. We're doing Young Guns, which they were like Kiefer Sutherland. Emilio Estevez was a star. Something went wrong with him.
He found Jesus.
He's a good person. Yeah, he didn't get caught up in Hollywood.
Well, he was in the right family as well.
Brother of Charlie.
Yeah, Martin and Charlie Sheen. I mean, Martin Sheen was really successful in his own right.
It's the movie game.
Their dad.
Yeah, very successful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
think
Yeah.
their grandfather was.
Starring Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen,
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Dermot
La 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 la
Mulroney,
la la bamba.
Casey Slamenko, Terry Cuquin, Jack Palance.
Had so many people in this movie.
We love Jack Palance, right?
What year did
From
this
City
come out?
Slickers.
Oh, almost.
And Terrence Stamp. Put a stamp on that.
All right, here we go. I really got to think about this one.
And I believe the theme song was done by
John Bon Jovi.
Shot Down in Blaze of Glory. It was great.
Number 2 was
it
done-
John Bon?
Yeah,
Yes, it
number
was.
2, but I don't know about number 1. Was number 1 also John Bon Jovi?
I'm going down,
Interesting.
down in
What
a
one are we
blaze of
doing? 1
glory.
or 2?
Young Guns, one.
One.
Billy the Kid. It's about so fun story. I invited a bunch of kids over to the movie to my house for my birthday.
Yeah.
Told them my mom's taking us to Young Guns. They got there. I told my mom to take us to Young Guns in front of everyone. It was a really awkward thing. I mean, she did, but
Okay, I have a year.
run shit past your parents before you try to do it for your
Okay,
friends.
I got a year as well.
What year do you have, Simon?
1991.
Oh, fuck. I'm an idiot. Yeah, you're probably closer. I have 86.
Ooh, right in between, as always, 1988.
Oh, shit.
You're closer, I think, Matt.
Still, yeah.
Shove your nose farther up his butt.
Wow, that was so aggressive for no reason. Like,
I had
this
a-
guy's always on
I
your
had a
side.
smile on my
He's
face the whole
upset that
time.
you got it closer.
I was looking for some validation.
Do I have any 80s movies on the list? here?
88. How much do they
See,
pay?
don't be looking at your list.
How much do they pay? Yeah, that's interesting.
I said
this
this
is
a
why
long
I do
time
it.
ago. Don't do that.
How much did movies cost making at 88, and how much did they even make at the box office? And how big was this movie looking back?
Listen to him building it
You know,
up.
it's
Good
always,
work.
but it's always like movies that are huge to you as a kid weren't really big movies, or vice versa.
I think this was a big movie.
Simon, how about this? I'll give you the information that I'm.
The same information you're looking at?
Yeah. Okay, so Hot
Okay.
Shots came out in 91. 26 million to make, 180 at the box office. Revenge of the Nerds, 84, 8 million to make, 75 million at the box office. How about this though? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles came out 1 year before this. 15 million to make, 49 at the box office.
Interesting.
Okay, so now we're even. I've given you all the
Right, well,
information.
no, I like that we both got the same information.
Well, I don't want there to be any sort of asterisks behind my loss here.
I'm gonna say something else that should be taken into consideration after.
Well, there's a lot of famous people in this. That's the problem. And at this time, they were all very hot.
I'm not gonna say anything. To
Okay. I don't know, man. This is tough. I don't even remember the numbers I just gave Simon.
I felt I can't say anything.
Okay,
There's
I'm-
that fake
I'm
laugh,
ready.
Joe.
There's
hates.
a fake laugh. Thank
Hold
you.
on. I'm not. I need 2 more seconds.
Okay. Well, no, that
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
can't say it.
Okay, I'm ready. Simon, you can
Oh,
go
wait,
first.
hold on a second. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
The first movie game in
Yeah.
the basement. Back to where it all began.
Simon's pump fake. Did we do a movie game
I
in the
don't
basement?
think we had a movie
I'm
game when
ready.
we were in the basement.
I'm ready.
I know we didn't have the jingle, but we might have done the movie game in the basement.
Maybe iterations.
Okay,
Simon's
you're ready?
ready.
Go ahead, Simon.
So I said it cost 17 million to make,
Yeah.
which now I think is too high because none of these people were making a lot at the time. And
I just said the opposite of that,
I
didn't
know.
I?
No, I
and
don't-
it was
you said there were a lot of famous.
they were
people
all
in this.
young, and it was a horse movie.
Yeah.
So it didn't cost a ton for them to make, and I said it made 188, and now I'm thinking that's too much. But anyways,
So this is interesting, Simon. I said it cost 18 million to make.
ooh, so you're even
So
higher.
we're right there. Well, 1 million
Yeah.
higher. But I said it only made a fraction of what you said. I said it made 67.8 million.
Ooh, you smelt something. It cost 11 million to make.
Okay, so we're
Shit.
both
So,
too much.
yeah. But
Box
Simon's
office,
closer.
56 million.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm right there.
In the neighborhood, knocking
right
on your
there.
door.
Well, this is what I'd like
right
to do
there.
now.
Floyd!
And I
right
don't know
there.
if we've ever done this before. Let's do Young Guns 2. I think that'll be interesting because I think it was
Okay. All
the
right.
the more successful of the two.
Because this was good.
By that time, they're all famous.
This is already on VHS, becoming a cult classic, and then
Sure.
A cult classic.
I think that's a great idea,
So you
Simon.
got double your money.
It's the double movie game for the Basement of Doom.
Okay, I already have a year.
Ooh,
Already ready
how
with the year.
fast did they do the turnaround? That's interesting, eh?
I've already got a year, Simon. What are you thinking over there? I think you're thinking the same thing I am. I think we're about to pick the same year.
And I got. Are we just doing year right now?
Yeah, just start with the year.
Balthazar
Okay,
Getty
got
was
it.
in it. He was a little kid.
Got it.
What year did you write?
92.
Oh, I wrote 91 because I believed
Oh.
you were onto something the
And
first
it was
time.
90 or 93?
1990.
Oh.
It was
There
so
we go.
soon after.
Boom,
man.
2 years. Back to
Yeah.
the studio, boys.
Yeah,
You're doing
you're
this.
right, you're
I was
right. I
close.
was way too far off.
I was close. I was 1 year off.
So
Okay.
it was 1990.
So the first one cost $11 million to make. Interesting.
It's going to blow your mind.
So each one. Okay.
And then he said it's going to blow your mind. Interesting.
That's too much. I can't. I'm not professional at all.
It's going to blow your mind.
But
Wow.
Simon choosing to do this, thinking he knows something.
I don't think I know anything.
I think you know something because you're like, let's do this because I have a hunch
No,
based
no,
on this.
no,
you said
no,
it's
no,
more
no,
You
successful.
stop touching your dick like you're on camera, you fucking weirdo. This guy's stroking his cock over there
Play
through
with
his
my-
pocket.
I'm playing with my headphones.
Fucking weirdo.
Play with my
Yeah,
headphones.
okay, sure. Pulls out headphones.
Hey, the couch is a lot more comfortable than the seat.
It's the worst. Simon, are you ready?
No, I don't know.
This is tough.
I said way too much. I've ruined it.
Did you? Because
I think so.
I think you're pump faking.
I think he was writing down. I said what I said. He didn't act like he got anything from it, and we are here.
He never listens.
Okay, I don't listen. Here we
I
go.
heard you say it, and then I took that into account.
Okay,
but
let's-
I don't know if it changed my thing here. I said it cost $26 million to make, and it made $168.
And I said it cost $36 million to make, and it made $188.
This is where it's going to blow your mind. It cost $20 million to make,
Whoa. So they still weren't famous.
and it made $59 million.
What?
Because it was a horse shit. We thought
Because it was
good.
a horse shit.
Oh my
Because it was a
God.
horse
We
shit.
thought it was good,
He doesn't
but
even
the
finish
most
the
like-
statement.
I went down,
Down.
in a blaze of glory.
I bet you the song was bigger than the movie.
Oh, the song was for sure bigger than the movie.
But what I was going to say is you've got to think about locations. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's where Westerns can be done in a weekend. Just in this one.
Sometimes working with so many horses costs a lot of money.
No, but okay, if a country's in another country or
country's in
multiple
another
countries,
country.
think about shooting there. Like, not even the transportation of the crew to the place, just having it set up again. CGI is always going to be. That's when they start to become $100 million, like the
Well,
Titanic.
CGI is where you get really fucking
Big
crazy.
money, but if it's simple locations, I think that it's going to be cheaper than you think.
But come on, multiple countries. Like, there's places like they shoot in Canada a lot because you can make it look like you're in 4 different countries, just based
No,
on the landscape.
Okay, and so if you knew that going in this, then you say they made some money. But if there's the Eiffel Tower in one shot,
Oh, yeah,
the
of course.
Taj Mahal,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
actually
yeah.
know they went to
Yeah.
different locations. It's a movie game. Back to Bert Kreischer.
Nice work, Simon. I think we did okay there.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
You
Well, we
did
were
okay
so
there.
far off.
I think he did okay there too.
Well, no,
On Young Guns
because he
too?
thought he knew something.
Well, I mean,
I know. I didn't. I just thought it would be an interesting
And
experiment.
I think it was.
What a jerk.
And I think it was fun. I'm not a jerk.
what
You
a
are.
jerk.
You are a jerk.
They went through a whole bunch of. It got actually annoyed for me. Bullfighting sequences and people being gorged and did not show a thing.
Well, I don't want to see
You
that
wanna see
anyway.
that?
Jamie the censor stepped in. They go, oh,
Dude, up the
He
asshole.
lived, he
No
lived,
one wants
but
to see that.
I don't want to hear them.
It's true. I don't want to hear them talk
You
about
have
it if I
you
can't
have the
hear it.
same Google that they have.
Okay, then
No,
throw me
that's
links.
too much.
Throw me links.
Yeah,
Throw me
links.
links.
There you go. I'm with him.
I do not want to hear people.
I wouldn't
freak
watch
out.
them anyways,
You don't
but I
want to
want
watch
the
it.
option.
You want the option.
You have the option. It's
Freedom.
right here
No,
now.
It's
We're
a
talking
lot
about
of
freedom.
work to do in real time, Maddie. Like
This
you
guy
might be
wants
driving.
This guy wants to be a prepper and move
Hey,
up to the
you
country,
might
and
be-
he just
you
said
might
it's.
be driving.
You might be
Then
What are you
What
jerking
then
off
what do
two
you-
dicks? What?
Then what do you do, Maddie?
I don't know. If you're driving that big, I mean, first of all, your steering wheel is far too big.
Okay.
You don't watch it. You listen,
I listen. Yes,
and you
That doesn't
know what I'm
bother
they're
you?
talking
I
about the
didn't want to
bullfights.
see it anyway. I don't like that.
No,
shit.
but what if it was something that you needed to see?
Do you
and
think
couldn't
Jamie has
see
too
it?
much power?
No, that's
No,
not the
of
problem.
course not.
He's making the decision. Joe isn't going. They start just talking, and Jamie brings up pictures, and just go, whoa, whoa.
What song?
IOs only.
What song did they listen to this week where Joe was just like, "Well, we're gonna do it, and we'll just fucking see what happens."
Wilco.
Oh,
Yes, it was Wilco. Yeah,
How
he
does
knows what'll
Joe not
happen. He's
know
played
who
100
Wilco
songs
is?
already.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Sorry.
Running of the bull, and he's like, "That's crazy." He's like, "We're like, no." He's like, "It's not that crazy. You can do it." And I believe what he said.
What bull? What?
You have to like lollygag around to goad the bull. The bulls don't just get through everyone and find the guy. The guy in the beginning.
I didn't know that actually. That was the first time I'd ever heard that.
What, did they stab the bull a bunch of times?
No, I knew that.
okay.
No, that during the running of the bulls, like I thought everybody started and the bulls were right here, and it was just a free for all, and you run and you get away.
No, but it's a corridor, right?
Yeah, but
So
what
if you have 100 people, it's still gonna be.
what he was saying was like you could easily outrun the bulls.
There's not a
Just don't
starting
try
line.
and get around the
There's
bulls.
not a starting line where everyone's even. There's someone who's closest to the
Who
bull.
start
someone's
closest to the bull, yeah.
And if that guy at the beginning sort of bungs around and waits, he could get gorged, but you could just make it. And
But you do see people getting gorged, so
but they're
Simon.
running slowly. They're sort of like,
yeah, they're trying to fuck with the bulls.
yeah.
What would you rather do? A coach flight from New York to Dubai, 15 hours,
Oh my god.
or run with the bulls?
Well, if I can do it like the way Bert
You
said,
get pole position.
No,
would
you
run
no
with the
no.
bulls.
Okay.
You can.
Okay. How
In my
about this?
world, you can.
How about this? Would you chase the wheel of cheese in the UK down the super steep hill,
Or the
and you have to,
flight?
or the bulls
oh, definitely the bulls.
over the because I guess your
Dude.
shoulder goes out
Well, I
immediately,
think
right?
that cheese for everybody is automatic, like some sort of injury, you know?
I'm sure there's some
Oh, it definitely
protester that
looks
just
like it.
walks down.
I was just gonna say there has to be a few people that just like
Okay,
come in
well,
like
if I'm allowed 27. to walk down, but like
Okay.
if you tell me I have to police
No, I'm saying you
or
got
die,
it. Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh,
Your family's at
You're
gunpoint.
getting fucked. Bye, kids. You're getting fucked up.
I
know?
love you, Shep.
Another thing that happens in Spain that they didn't mention about it is that they have a huge thing where they bring in tomatoes and everyone just whips tomatoes at each other.
That's in Spain. Did you say
That's
that?
what he just said,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, I didn't.
But the running the bulls is in Spain.
Yeah, it
too.
is. Yeah. Sorry.
You don't want to see the photos. Would you have a moral dilemma if you were in Spain and someone invited you to go to see the bullfight?
I don't want to see a bullfight.
You don't want to see.
Yeah, I don't want to see a bullfight.
I
no.
don't think I do either. But if I ended up there, then I don't think it's as bad as like watching a dog fight or.
No, I agree. But it's Kamar.
yeah.
It's the same way. Like I don't go to aquariums or zoos anymore when I'm like anywhere in the world. I don't care. I don't want to see that
There's
shit.
anything wrong with aquariums.
And the bull
mean,
is
it's not
killed.
great.
The bull is killed, and if after you went to the feast and ate the bull, make it a little more. It just they don't kill the bull and throw it in the.
You know what? I
garbage.
changed my mind. I don't like aquariums either.
Aquariums are worse than a bullfight.
Well, I don't know about.
I mean,
worse
listen, I get what
than-
you're saying.
They're
If
not worse. Than
if
a
the
bull.
plan was like we were gonna kill this bull anyway,
Yeah.
it just seems like a, hey, let's taunt him before we kill him. Like I don't know.
I
but-
don't know. It's like part of their.
And
I get
heritage.
it. Listen, they can do as they please. I'm just
Sorry,
saying.
those bulls are dying anyways. They're like bulls that have
we're all
cancer
we're
or
all
something.
dying. I don't know that,
Bulls,
but they're
they've had an MRI and it's not looking
I'm
good,
sure those
Simon.
bulls have.
Well, that would be okay.
I'm sure those bulls have had their balls drained and have been rebred or whatever.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
That's what you do with animals. Even like
That's all you do with
Did
animals?
we talk about the Kentucky Derby? Have you seen that horse win?
Yeah, it's insane.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my goodness!
It's one of the wildest things you'll ever see.
I talked about it. It should be. It looks like a movie, but what I'm saying is this horse will have his balls drained and studded or whatever it's called, and then they'll kill him and feed him to
Other horses.
or what I don't know where horse meat goes, or it'll go to Joe Beef.
Gelatin.
You think that they'll like this horse in particular because?
Oh,
it's
Joe
won
Beef.
all
Are you
these-
kidding me? Joe Beef would be like, guys, tonight we're serving a very special Kentucky Derby winner, 80-1 odd.
Wouldn't that be crazy
The fastest
if
horse.
after like who is that Secretariat wins the Triple Crown, you then eat him?
Yeah, 10,000 a plate.
Well, this is what the bullfight is, and in the bullfight, there is the possibility that guy gets gorged to death,
You eat that bull.
or you see that guy die.
That bull is like steak meat? I don't think so.
Anyone listening, we're just going to pull up Rich Strike's come from behind victory for Simon. But the bullfight has the bull's going to die or he's going to die. It's real life.
I mean, yeah, yay and nay. That's how it used to be. Now it's all for show. He's never going to die, and the bull's always going to die.
Simon, as you can see, they are coming around the final leg, I believe, and the horse that wins is not even in the top
He's last.
6.
He's last.
That's him. Number
Watch,
2.
you're about to understand what's going on here. It's shocking. Keep in mind too, 80-1 odds. Okay, so this is the final, Ben. My bad. Look at that.
The white helmet or the yellow helmet is probably going to win.
Dude, this when I used to work at the track,
This guy right here. Oh my God. It got stung by a bee or something.
it got stung by a bee or something. Is this the right one, Kamar?
No.
She's
Where
the
is
fastest. She's the fastest. He was at the back.
I
Yeah.
didn't even see that horse at the back. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, you didn't
There's
see
a
it.
better overhead angle.
Yeah, the overhead view is. He's right. The overhead view
So we
is.
dropped the ball on our first
That was
reaction
very,
video,
very
but
confusing.
that's Rich Strikes. There it is, right beside it.
Where?
Overhead view.
Okay,
Overhead
sorry.
view.
My apologies. I'm so
And it
sorry.
has a
Anyways.
little marker. I'm sorry, guys. We just got to show an example of bullfighting, but we're showing.
This is exactly what we were just
Here,
complaining
Simon.
about.
Whatever. I can edit this out
Yeah,
if I remember.
there, I see now. That horse. Okay, gotcha.
But how does he?
How
Dude,
does
look
he
at the
get
pack in
through?
front of
Yeah,
him.
that's crazy.
It's shocking. Again, 80-1
Whoa,
odds
how
too.
does he get through here?
It's nuts.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh
what
my
just
God,
happened.
he just squeezes through.
Like, look at right there.
look
You'd
how
be
far
like,
ahead they are.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
this horse is never winning, ever.
I think it's right here. Just
Wow, look at
possessed.
that. Boom. That's where he gets stung by the bee.
Dude, he is just. Look at that fucking horse go.
Whoa.
It's insane.
This rider must be like, what the fuck is going on?
And all the other
What
horses,
the fuck is going on?
like his cheeks are over his ears.
Dude,
Oh my
look
God,
at that
this is
fucking
so
horse
crazy.
go.
That's
yeah.
what I said. It's the craziest
nuts.
thing ever.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
That's what I said.
Bananas.
And anyways,
Wow. What the fuck is going on?
Well, Simon, the craziest too is imagine if you had 80-1 odds. Imagine if you had like 10 grand on that
Watching
horse.
that? Oh my
You'd just be
God.
fucking losing it.
you miss in a close up. He hits the other horse and almost falls, and then goes on to win. But this horse doesn't get a summer home, raise his kids. He just puts out to pasture. So
Dude, that is legitimately the horse version of Fast and the Furious hitting the nitro button, you know?
that's what I said. It defies. Like you're like, what? How is that possible?
Wow, that was great.
Pete Davidson versus Kanye. They'll talk about that. Like they'll talk about frivolous
It's not-
things.
Those are really frivolous. I mean,
But the best.
Kanye must know about his dick too, right?
about who's dick?
Pete
Pete's dick?
Davidson. I mean, if we know about it,
everybody knows.
well, that's the interesting thing.
What's the interesting thing?
That's got dude. If your girl leaves you and you find out she's with fucking Johnny
Yeah.
Big Dick over there, like that hurt. If you know the public, like if you know this guy's a hamaconda and it's like the world throughout knows it, that.
And he seems to be the womanizer. It puts a lot of pressure on small penis men to be like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Would you
No one
rather?
cares.
Would you rather your girl left you and became a lesbian or openly dated
Oh,
a dude?
lesbian,
Yes, they never have because they're
There
becoming
you
a
go.
lesbian.
See?
It
No
really
doubt,
makes you feel
no
good
doubt.
to become a lesbian. There's a little bit of
No, I know some
guess
dudes
it
that
was
hate
me.
that shit. I'm always like, I'd rather
I've
that.
never been so supportive of anything in my life.
Gives me hope that I'll get in there.
The best insight was when I guess Joe was saying I had Kanye in here, and Jamie wasn't able to be there because
'Cause he had
got
COVID, yeah.
COVID, and Berg goes, was Red Man, which is the worst kept secret we've all said.
No way. I totally missed that.
Oh, you missed that? Yeah.
That Red Band had to be removed. Like we
Was
used to
Red
talk about it.
Band, Red Band.
Yeah, and Joe goes, no, I had to sit him down and say, listen,
Yeah.
you got to just let this guy's train of thought go. You can't say anything.
Like it came. We have been talking about this for years.
Yeah.
The Red Band had got run off the show because
Yeah.
there were so many moments of like, what the fuck did this guy just say? Like,
Why is he
listen.
bringing up Olive Garden?
And the
Buttholes.
meowing. Like, remember how
Oh,
long he
God.
meowed for?
he's found his place. God bless
God
Brian.
bless
we
him.
love
Yeah.
God
Brian.
bless him.
He's
but
a better person than I am.
That was
Not on this
that was a
podcast.
good moment. Then they got into a real reflection. You know, I told the machine story. You told me to say it. Like, which we were all on the ground floor for.
Yeah,
all,
that is crazy
All this
when you think
progress and
about it.
everything.
What's insane, though, is that Bert, how do you have a story like that and as a comedian and say to yourself, can't tell this one on
Because he
stage?
wasn't a comedian.
Yeah, I get it,
He
but-
was on the Trip Flip show or whatever. To the degree that I think that
Travel
was the worst
Channel.
thing that happened to him. being on that show.
Why? Listen, how could it be? He is in the best place ever. Everything he did
Yeah,
before
okay.
now.
It doesn't matter, but it just made him a TV guy. That energy.
Sure.
And he laments that other shows, I wish I'd done it like that. Like,
Yeah, but he
just
got
didn't
out
have
of
the
it.
opportunity.
Yeah.
No, but Joe really did change his path. Like he probably would have stayed on those shows forever, just making a really good living. And Joe was like, no, you're a great comedian. You gotta like put everything into this. Meanwhile, look at him now. Fuck, like the guy's like a superstar. And I guess having Tom just explode too, and him trying to like keep up with Tom, it just makes you work so hard.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
inspires you instead of like depresses you.
Well, you have two options, right? You either get depressed or you get
Motivated.
driven. Yeah.
I found it was strange because then
Are you going to hit that thing again?
Snort me?
no, I breathed in like that was so
You
profound.
sounded like my dog.
That was so profound.
They talked about like even though they're cool comedians, they can still fuck up because Bert like gave Jimmy Buffett way too much Bert.
Oh, yeah, that's
No,
hilarious.
no. I love you. Say, okay,
Pulled off his shirt.
I'm about to go on stage. Nice to meet you. And everyone talks about when you're about to go on stage, you don't want
Yeah,
weird
you just want to be
energy.
left alone, yeah.
They got into talking about I'll just be riffing, you'll be riffing, and who the fuck is this guy going fucking? Hey man, can I open for you? I thought that was a little pulling back inside the circle. It's a smaller circle than you think, and you can't just walk up and go, "Hey, I really like to do comedy. Can I open for you?" They'd
Well, it's
have
funny.
to see some undeniable promise.
When we were in LA and we saw Joe, Mary was like, so, like, are you going to go up and try to talk to him after? And I was like, about what? She's like, your podcast. And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And I was like, and I better not lose sight of you trying to go catch Joe Rogan's fucking ear
As
either.
if
Like,
she would be
well,
able
no,
to,
as
first
Joe
of all.
said, if you
well, she's
come
a
up,
girl, so she isn't in.
if you come up to someone and said, "Hey, you started a podcast, so I started a podcast," it makes him feel better.
Imagine
that
if he's like,
inspired.
oh man, that's so cool. What's it called? Oh, the Joe Rogan. Get the fuck out of my face.
You told everyone to start a podcast, and we love you so much. We started a podcast about you. Like,
Yeah,
it
I guess,
seems
yeah.
like a natural thing.
Either way, I did not want to do that. I was
That's how
not.
you would have to
Of
do
course not,
I don't even like bothering.
because you have no flex.
I listen. These people aren't gonna. People have this weird like maybe they'll become my friend mentality, and like
What
what are the odds of
I
that?
would do. I'd lie and I'd back you to the grave and just say I used to weigh 300 pounds. And let's do a podcast. He does have the before pictures, or we could put your head on someone's fat body.
That'd be hilarious.
Pre-show ritual. I can't believe Bird doesn't have one. It sounds like
He does. It's drinking. He drinks.
No, he
no.
doesn't
He just
drink.
says,
I was
doesn't drink till
joking.
the
I
second
know
set.
it was a joke.
Tony and Joe like.
They're
grinding?
dancing together. Yeah. I just picture
We sit around the room and dance in
Yeah.
the green room. I'm sure it's about
Tony
the
puts his
size-
hand on my lower back and we do a little mambo.
Dave has red lights. We have dark
Yeah.
lights.
And do the lambada. And
Yeah,
music
the
goes
lambada,
on.
the forbidden dance.
Dude, it's hilarious. I just picture like a camera panning as it goes by like Dave's dressing room, and there's like red lights and like a
Smoking
bunch of black dudes
joints.
smoking weed and like just super chill. And then the camera keeps panning and it's an open door and it's Joe and Tony like literally doing the mambo, like holding each other tight.
And I get it. Like, I did a show on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and I did a joke a couple weeks ago, and my buddy was hosting. Then he came up and made a joke off of it, and it didn't kill or anything, but it was like, oh, I could say that. Like, it serves me better, that line, because you can only say that if you come up after me, but I could use it, and I've been trying to do it, and it's not working at all. And because it's actually his joke, like it's all his idea. He wants now to make it work, so he told me
For you?
for me, yeah, which is great. But he told me after, he's like, "Oh man, I've been thinking about the way you've been doing that. I forgot to tell you. Now I'll tell you." I said, "You don't tell me after the fact. You gotta tell me ahead of time." But now I know what to do, so I have no excuses. But I guess that's what they're doing in the green room, just like
Thanks for letting us pull back the curtain a little.
say that thing that you said. Like, oh yeah, I'll say that. Like
Getting a tag.
must be the greatest feeling. And they talked about cadences and audience. Like, I could not do the way I'm delivering material right now. I could not do theaters. I just talk way too fast. I really got to slow down.
What do you think? Here, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second, Kamar. What do you think would happen if you went on Kill Tony?
I know a minute I do that get laughs.
Yeah.
And then
But what do you think would? I know you could get some laughs, but what do you think would like? How do you think it'd all go down If you had to
Best
imagine
case
it
Ontario,
out.
Brian says, "Hey, I have a show. Do you want to?" Because that's the best you can get is him ask you, or they give you a notepad. But
So you actually think that best case, one of them would be like, man, that minute you did was so groundbreaking. We'd like to put you on a show.
on Friday,
Okay.
Brian has his secret show, and if someone just promises,
Is
see.
that how they
girls,
do it?
He'll say, "Hey, do you want to
I
sponsor
see.
the show?"
Okay.
Nice.
Worst case scenario, I'd like freak out and be awkward. That's the worst. Is the post set.
Yeah, when they talk to you, yeah.
But if you just are honest and whatever, it'll come out and they'll make funny. It's fine. But if you try to like be funny with it, it's the worst.
Yeah, but you just be yourself. Act your normal autistic
And
self.
I'm saying, but I wouldn't. I would try to think what I act how it is.
I
and
feel-
fuck the whole thing.
I
up.
Oh, you know what?
like-
He'd go up in his Jordans
This is
and
what you're
like
asking. This is what you're asking.
and like pants that are way too tight or
You'd have
something.
a better chance of becoming like the intern on Legion of Skanks, because that gives you time for them to get to know you. You know,
possibly, yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, they got to get
That's
you got to
what
get a
you need,
DUI
yeah.
under your belt for the team.
Oh, well, I
for
had
them.
that.
No, for them.
no, for them.
Yeah, they got to like live
gotta
through
take
it.
the
Yeah.
hit.
See, I might have burnt that one, and now I can't do that.
But maybe you'll see that you don't like driving anymore, and then you'll have one in the bag. So, like, if it ever happens to one of them, you're just like, boys, I'll take the grenade.
Even then, though, I think going in, I think you need a DUI on your resume to become their intern. I would assume.
Oh, you're talking about Legion of Skanks?
Yeah,
I
probably.
think
Yeah.
you have to be homeless.
Oh, you're halfway there, so this is good.
They found out that Bert is an avid disc golfer.
That's a good joke. I've been living out of my car lately. I have a scooter. No, all right.
Here's the battery. Have you guys ever
golf.
disc golf?
Yeah, Simon and I own
We
3.
thought about doing it,
Yeah, we bought like a little set of 3 just to
What
give it a
stopped
try.
you?
just actually going out to a disc golf place.
Well, this is what your problem is. You don't need a disc golf place. You could just say,
Well, that's what we
That
were
tree
doing.
there.
That's what we were doing.
I have a great story.
did it, or that's what you're thinking about doing?
No, we did that a bunch of times.
We should try to do that.
I have a great story about disc golf. They have a disc golf course on the Toronto Island. It's like it goes around the whole island, super nice. One day, my buddy was in town and I was like, we'll just go buy one Frisbee and we'll go play the disc golf course. Like, it'll be fun. And as we're on the ferry over, I jokingly said, wouldn't it be really funny if we get there and there's like some sort of disc golf tournament going on? And dude, sure enough, we like walk up to just a random hole and this guy's like, hey, can I help you guys? And we're like, oh, no big deal. Like, we're just gonna, and he was like, yeah, sorry. There's actually like a tournament going on. This guy rolled up with a bag of like 15. And then I saw this guy throw, dude, it felt like 5 football fields. I've never seen anything like it.
It made you want to be able to do it.
I mean, it looks fun.
Do you know how to throw like
It's-
that
it
weird?
looks-
I can't throw forehand that well.
I just think I'm throwing like that always.
No, forehand is easier on the arm for sure.
Easy-
I
well,
imagine
that's-
you throw.
That's what Bert was
That's what
saying.
happened to Bert. Yeah.
Well, you have a bad
himself.
shoulder too. I imagine.
Other arm.
Okay, because I
Your
got to
throwing
admit,
arm is fine.
Well, I mean, it dislocates sometimes, but it's mostly
It's on like
fine.
Donkey Kong.
Kamar, 10 of these hard ones, and my arm is done.
But this is way harder for me, anyway.
I can't get any distance this way.
Yeah, I use this for like if I have to do like a curve shot or
Fast forward, the way they're talking, Bert's going to be the commissioner of the
Well,
Disc Golf Federation of
it's
the
a
world.
great sport, so I'm all for it. A lot more than that mud runner or mutter run or
Tough
whatever
Mudder.
the fuck that was.
Either way, can we all take a second out to acknowledge how fucking sweet it is being rich and
Oh
famous?
my god, imagine.
Well, this is what he
Imagine
said.
just getting into anything and then having
This-
companies
that's
be
what-
like,
that's
oh,
what
Joe
they
said.
said. I
Joe said,
know.
There's so much to do. I mean, if you have time and money.
I was pulling my
And
remaining
if you don't have time and money,
hair
give us up a job. and you hate yourself.
You
Like,
motherfucker.
is that the secret, Joe?
Like,
You
is
need
that
time
just
and
how
money?
it works?
What the fuck was I
and
thinking
no
this whole
kids
time?
and no wife
What
and the
the
ability
hell?
to
What the
just do
hell?
anything you fucking want.
Unbelievable.
yeah, must be nice.
All the time I thought it was work. It's
yeah.
just time and
Oh,
money.
here we go. Fuck, he figured it out.
Classic.
But no, it
Yeah,
really
that whole
like
work thing just kind of gets in the way of my whole
Well, it
fucking
takes your time.
disc golfing career.
no. But think about it. Anything you want to get into, like you just mentioned it on your podcast. Oh, I'd really be into insert thing, and that company hears and is like, hey, guess what? Like, dude, I remember my aunt had a Toronto Film Festival party at her restaurant, and Pierce Brosnan was there and got photographed drinking a Heineken, and Heineken sent her the most staggering fucking care package as a thank you. Like, thanks for serving Heineken. Like, it's just nuts.
And if like we saw someone wearing one of our shirts, we'd send them like Nothing.
Oh, I'd fly to their city and suck their dick. No, I can't put that on.
You'd have to send him a joint or something.
Whoa.
Time and money. Bert has the funniest way of describing stuff. He talked about golfing at Pebble Beach with his
Dad.
which I would love to do.
$6,000 a night. Best of luck. We're
would love to try that
literally
one day.
15,000
But he said,
Patreons.
my
away.
dad overprescribed himself.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Like there's a polite way of saying overdose or like overprescribed himself. Is your dad a doctor? No, then he's not prescribing anything. He just took more than he can handle.
They almost talked about the cabin.
No, he talked about it. Well, no, again,
Joe didn't talk about
We
it.
think, first of all, Mike Gibbons is a co-creator of The Cabin. We like Mike Gibbons from
He is
Fitzy and Gibbons.
co-creator of The Cabin?
He wrote it. We all think it was horrible. It was a big hit as far as Netflix goes or everything.
Was it? I haven't seen season 2.
There's a season 2 of
Touche,
the cabin.
touche.
That's my point.
Oh.
If
When
it's so
things are
there'll be
successful on
another one.
Netflix, they're usually pretty quick to turn stuff around.
I think it was a moment captured time, and you can't actually do this over and over again.
Fair enough. I mean, that's the excuse I would use.
We were just disappointed. Again, going back to the thing that you know all these guys, and so it's weird to see them in this edited, cut up thing.
Yeah.
It feels unnatural. You don't know Peter from Paul. It seems wacky and zany, and they're cool guys, and maybe everyone's presence grew from it.
And just having Caitlyn Jenner on seemed like it was just a pull. It was so far out of like,
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Bert's dad crying.
yeah, sure.
You do not know who this hero is. It's not everything is what it seems. Someone said that a while ago.
Who said that? Come on.
Copernicus.
No, it was that.
I'm kidding.
It was that terrorist turned anti-terrorist guy.
I forget his name, yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
don't
talking
know
about.
who you're talking about.
You didn't. One of us didn't listen to it, and like it fell apart. Anyways,
He looks right at me.
so there could be a $1 million prize for disc golf.
That's so cool.
Be cool. Joe's always secretly wanted to make NBA of pool.
Well, can I tell you something? Joe is really missing the mark because his pool show is so obvious. It's the
Play pool and just talk.
Yeah, the same version as Comedians in Cars. He just does fucking bros with billiards or whatever.
Well, Bill Burr did that with poker.
Sure,
And
yeah.
it doesn't.
I
work.
don't like that.
No,
That didn't work.
Oh, I found it funny.
Yeah.
It hasn't been season 2.
I mean, the problem was they
No,
were all.
there
The
has
problem
not.
was they were all terrible at poker.
Terrible at poker. You're right. If it had been better cards, it would have been a better show.
Well,
Yes.
and just there's points where they're not firing off things, so then they edit up, so the hands
and
seem
they're
weird.
so bad at poker.
That's the problem. It's very when you're that aggressively bad at poker. It's
I
tough
saw
to
the
watch.
one with what's his name from the league.
John LaJoie.
Steve Renazizi.
Yeah,
Oh, him. Yeah, yeah.
and he was the best player, and he was still terrible.
Then they talked about like how to do that.
But
because,
sorry, just before you go on,
Well, we are going to wrap this up.
I
but
am
yeah.
right though about that Joe Pool. People would watch that.
I
For
think
sure.
it's an exit call. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, because you do sit and talk when you're playing poker. Even if you walk around the table, you're like,
Dude, listen, when the
Cool.
boys
Stories,
when the
stuff.
boys get together to play poker, I'm not there for the game. I'm usually there just to see
Hey,
everyone in banter.
hey.
Yeah, like the poker's it's,
and if you can take 200,
You're talking
bucks from
about.
a,
We're talking about pool though.
yeah, if you can take $200 from a good friend.
yeah, it's always nice.
But
Good.
if they just showed the hands, no editing, it might have possible. But there's weird cuts, and it's not conducive for poker because it's poker. You got to see the whole thing, which they said. Color of Money made everyone start playing pool. I think Rounders started making everyone play poker.
I mean, the money. I'll say this: it was like perfectly in sync with the moneymaker effect.
Perfect storm. Yeah.
So, because like Rounders was probably 3 or 4 years before that.
and it was the baseball strike or
No,
the
hockey.
hockey.
It was the
strike?
hockey strike.
It
They
was
started
like the
playing
perfect
poker.
storm.
I don't. For me
of-
though, the hockey strike doesn't do it because it doesn't have hockey doesn't have enough pull for.
No, but it was just a
They had
dead
no hockey
time in
games
the
on.
season.
Yeah, I get it, but again, like,
They needed to show something.
They could
oh,
talk
I
about
see what you're
hockey.
saying. Okay, but
It
they don't
wasn't
show
that they
hockey.
lost that. They do show hockey.
Highlights always. They had no highlights. They had nothing
he's
to
talking
talk about. Trades.
Just saying, hockey is on when basketball and baseball are on. They don't show hockey in the States. I've lived there. ESPN is like, there was a couple hockey games today. They happened, and that's it.
I think now they show a lot more hockey.
I think poker rose and now it's sort of sunk down. I mean, it's still on TV. I just don't care to watch it, and I don't know if a super disc movie would help bring.
Bert starring in a
sport.
super disc
That's
comedy.
hilarious.
I don't see why it
disc
shouldn't
golf
be a
comedy.
Olympic sport.
I mean, you're kind of right too in a way. I know Tiger Woods was instrumental, but Happy Gilmore was along the like just before Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? And that kind of gave everyone like a.
Was it just before Tiger Woods?
I believe so.
That
yeah.
was right around
like
the start of Triple
93.
Bogey.
Really?
No, I don't know.
No,
That's true.
you don't know.
But yeah, Rounders definitely had a fucking huge effect.
It had a.
Yeah, I think it was, like
A
I said,
ripple
the
effect,
perfect
yeah.
storm.
Yeah.
I think it was a bunch of different things happening. all
Hockey
at
Strike
once.
Rounders, Chris Moneymaker.
The craziest about the Moneymaker thing is that he wins a hand against against Phil Ivey, like on the turn or the river. I think it was the river. He rivered a bigger full house, and he bluffed Sammy Farha off a huge hand. And if those two hands don't happen, poker.
It's the bluffing Sammy that's the crazy one. But I guess at that point he had just won against Ivy. So
Well, and anyone else Sammy probably calls because he has a read on them. But he's like, this fucking guy. This
how
internet
do I know
prick.
with
I don't
those
know this
stupid
yeah.
sunglasses?
Would you watch? And I don't think they realize the logistics. Jamie versus Tony golf tournament.
Absolutely.
Only if they had NBC
Highlights.
or someone get into it to film it
Highlights.
how golf is supposed to be filmed, not a phone or one person.
It would have to be match play though, or whatever the one is where you're one up, one down, like not stroke play.
Skins or something.
I guess skins would work, but match play, the one where you go one up,
match
one
play,
down,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. It would be fine though. That would be fun. And listen, Joe can afford to fucking buy a drone to film the whole thing.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying.
No, Kamar's right. The logistics
I
of
hope
moving.
he does it. If he figures it out right, it could be good. If he does it, it's good. And he could look bad because he's watching it as a layman, right? Like,
Yeah.
And Bert's the expert, so that could be funny.
Anyways,
the
I think it would be
expert.
great.
I look forward to it.
I give this a 3.
I give it 3.5.
I need to get to a 1.5, so whatever I need to give this to get there.
No one cares.
Just pick a
I
number.
give it a 2.5.
Okay.
Last week I gave the week of 1 and every episode like a
Yeah,
3 and a 4.
I did the same
Like,
thing
it does-
last
it
week.
doesn't-
Yeah.
A 2 maybe.
No one's listening.
If they had
That's
talked to
also
Brendan Schaub, this could have been a 4.5. That's where I'm at.
Wow. I mean, I really like this
Mix at the
episode.
beginning was a
Bert and,
problem.
I think Bert and Tony was a good mix.
Tony.
It was an unexpected mix.
Tony
yeah,
is
Tony
the
can
best.
go with
He
anyone. Yeah, I
knows,
get it.
he
I get
knows
it.
Tony hardly spoke at all.
I know.
No, but
He
he's
was spoken
he
to.
knows his
added
role.
Stuff,
Donnell could take a fucking few notes from
note
Tony.
or 2.
Yeah. That being said, that's an episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, that's absolutely incredible. Maybe you're willing to go one step further and check out one of our sponsors. There will be links in the description. Thank you to them, both BetterHelp and Athletic Greens. And we have some socials. Twitter, Instagram, at JREE Podcast. You can follow Kamar on Instagram.
At Kamar Babar.
You can follow me on Instagram, at Floydy, Floyd with 5 E's. You can't follow Simon anywhere because he's a prick. We have a YouTube where you can watch this show. It's youtube.com/JREE podcast. I've also been doing some live streaming from my basement of useless shit. So if you don't like me, you probably should stay away from the YouTube. If you do like all of us, subscribe, like. You can watch the show here, like I said. There's also a Patreon. If you want to support the show, you can do so for as little as $5 a month. For that $5, you will get the post-show. It's the show after the show where we shoot the shit. And you should maybe, if we can all ever get together, get some episodes of This Won't Age Well, the show where we go back, we listen to old episodes, we do the same bullshit we do here. And again, maybe there'll be some Patreon-only live content coming up.
Big story of the post, Joe, is the top executives. You know I love lists.
Well, there you go. So you're going to get that on the post, Joe. So go over to patreon.com/JREE podcast. Join the team. Oh, sorry. No, not join the team. Join the...
I'm triggered!
Sorry. Join the squad, the gang, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. And as usual...
Keep your eyes open, team.